I'm Monster 1970. This is part 2 of maintenance work on the Ferris IS1000. In this video I'm going to be replacing the mower deck belt. I'm going to be changing the hydraulic fluid, changing the hydraulic filter, changing the engine oil and filter, installing a new fuel filter, and adjusting the valve clearance. If there's anything additional that I find along the way, I'll end up doing repairs on that also, but that should be it. So let's get to work. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is replace this fuel filter. I don't know how much gas, well, it's got a fuel pump, so there shouldn't be that much gas coming out of it. This is our replacement filter. It is an X002 M8UOPJ Kawasaki fuel filter. Let's kind of rotate and pull at the same time. There's the old one. Arrow on here indicating the flow. Get the clamp back on. There we go. Okay, that's the new fuel filter. Next thing I'm going to do is check the valve clearance. This is a little involved. I'm going to take out both the spark plugs. Okay, now that both of them are out, I'm going to get something to put underneath here. I'm going to start with the right side of the engine. These are a 10mm bolt. Not too bad. That seems a little loose. So does that one. Okay, the clearance is between 4 and 6 thousandths, and I do believe that is cold. If I set both of them to 5 thousandths, I should be good. Let me get the feeler gauge. Okay, the way to check these, this is the way I've always done it, is you want to make sure you're not on a compression stroke. Turn her by hand until one of the valves is completely compressed. It should be good. I should be able to check the clearance on the opposite one. That is way too much clearance. Way too much. I think this is a 12mm nut, and there is a jam. There's an Allen in it. There's a jam nut. So I got to get an Allen to fit that and a wrench. This is a 14mm. Thought it was 12, but not 14. So what I'm going to do is loosen up the jam nut. That's pretty darn close right there. See, what I did was I tightened up the Allen, and then I went and torqued the nut down a little bit more. Make sure that's good and tight. It's not going to go anywhere. Make sure our clearance is still good. That's good. Yep, 6 is snug. 5 is good. So, now that that one's adjusted, I will rotate the crank around. That one doesn't feel that bad. That's a 5. It's actually a little loose. It's actually snug on the 6. So I'm going to say it's decent. It's good. Looked like only one of them was out of adjustment. Let's just take a look at the other side. See what that one looks like. Gonna do the same thing with this side. Gasket stayed on the block on this one. Looks like someone put some RTV sealant on there. So they must have been in here and adjusted the valve on this one. Should be it there. There's 5 thousandths. There's 6 thousandths. Too loose. It's really good right there. It's loose also. You don't want to go too crazy on these. End up cracking those caps. It happens. That's snug. That should be good. Now what I'm going to have to do is clean this up a little bit. Clean the cover up a little bit. Got a new gasket for on there, and then I'll put her back together. This is the replacement gasket number X002HLOW9F. This is a 2-pack. I'm going to put a little bit of this Loctite 243 on here. Get that crap off of there. A little on there. Little bit on there. You don't have to be very tight because that's going into aluminum. There we go. It's snug. That should be good. Got some Loctite in the bolts, a new gasket on there, cleaned up all the surfaces. And I'm going to put this back on. There we go. Now I got to put the plugs back in, and then we'll start it up and let it run for a little bit. Change the oil. Clean everything up here, and we'll come back, start her up, and then let her sit outside and run. There we go. this is a drain for the oil. It takes a 13/16 for this nut and a 3/4 to hold the other end. So now I have it loose. I'm just gonna let her drain. I'm going to get the oil filter. I don't know if you can see, but the oil filter is right down in here. I'm going to try to grab it with my hand, and it shouldn't be super tight. It feels pretty tight. You're gonna have to get a wrench. It should never be on that tight. That's why the oil filter wasn't changed, because nobody could get it off. That's not that tight. Now I'm going to make a little bit of a mess in here whenever I take this out. Put a rag down here to catch it. I'm trying to spin her off as quick as possible. Get her up out of there. Come on. There we go. That is a genuine Kawasaki oil filter. Got this genuine Kawasaki oil. 10W40. Put that in. Here's my oil filter. Part number 49065-0724. Genuine Kawasaki oil filter. I put the date on the top of it and the hours, which the hour meters work, so it doesn't really make it to, doesn't really apply. But at least I have the date on it. So let me get the replacement filter back on there. A thin layer of oil, fresh oil on the filter. I'm gonna spin her on there. I'm not putting any, I'm not pre-oiling it because it's just gonna cause a huge mess due to the angle that this has to go back on there. Put her flush, snug her down, hand tight will be good. It doesn't need to be put on with a wrench. Should be no way that that thing will come loose. And we do have a little bit of a mess down here with the oil, I figured. And I'll let that continue to drain, and I will come back, cap that off, and fill it back up with oil. I've got the drain valve tightened up, and I'm going to go and fill this up with oil now. Should take about 2 quarts. I'm going to start her up and get some oil to run through that filter. See where we're at now. Check these without screwing them in. It's in the ad. So it's probably going to take the rest of that quart. Yep. Right on the full. Nice and clear oil too. Hydraulic filter. You can see it's right down there. Let me get my wrench on it. It's actually not tight. I know it's gonna start leaking out of there like a sieve. Wasn't too bad. This is a replacement filter. It is a Stens 120818, and I'm going to be filling this filter up with this 15W50 full synthetic Mobil 1 oil. There we go. That was a pretty big mess. And that is very low. Well, that's to the top of the baffle. I'll have to start it up and see. Hopefully it goes down a little bit. Let's check it again. Light. It's a little low. I'm probably gonna have to get another cord. That'll do it for now. Let's move on to I think I'm going to put the blades on. I have a set of replacement blades for this. I think I'm going to do that next. This is a replacement blade number 455-7000. These are Oregon replacement blades. So I got to get an impact socket to take these off. I'll be right back. 15/16 socket. That wasn't bad. In here, I'm going to get this off of there. Now I'm going to be replacing the PTO or mower deck belt. This is a 9/16. No, that isn't going to work. I was saying I was going to swing this arm out of the way, but even getting that up out of there, I got to go all the way around this. So I'm going to have to take it off of here. Looks like I'm going to need an impact again. through there. I think so. There we go. New one's gonna go back in underneath here. 12-15708. Made in the USA. Now all I gotta do is slide this back underneath and hook it up. Should be fun. Well, now I'm gonna go and slide this beast back in up underneath there. So this should be fun. There are two arms in the back here. And I need to get the pins back in. And they go from the outside in. And put a little lube on it, since it was pretty dry before. Let me see. Before I gotta slide this back quite a bit. Here's the other pin. Should be good. A lot better than what it was. Now I got the mower deck back on. I'm going to tighten up the supports for the front and rear supports for it. These are a 9/16. I'm using a closed end wrench and an open end wrench. Right here's the other one. And I got the one in the back yet to take care of. I got the belt installed. And you see there's a spring back there. That needs to be adjusted to 1 5/8 with the belt on. So that was a little tough to get into. I have all these tightened up. That's tightened up. That's tightened up. And this here is tightened up along with the other side. And this one is tightened up. Still got to adjust the mower deck out a little bit, but all I got to do yet is install these shields and install that decking, and I'll be done. Okay, I've got these two side covers to put on. One of them only has 3 bolts, but it's got 4 cutouts. They cut the deck, evidently they cut both of them the same. So let's see if I can slide this down on here. There we go. Let's go to the other side. Okay. Let me stand up a little bit. missing a washer. Gotta go find a washer. Let's get a washer for that. See if I found a washer. Okay, let's get this top cover on and then we should be done. Slide the decking back over there. The foot or whatever the hell it is. We've got 4 bolts to hold this in. 2 up here in the front. I'm going to put them in first. There we go. Get the other 2 longer ones. Put them back here. That should be a 1/2 inch. That should do it. Whew. Well, that's it for the maintenance work on the Ferris IS1000. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.